Learning is an active process. Learners initiate experiences, search for information to solve problems, and reorganize what they already know to come up with new insights. Lighting the fire is related to the cognitive perspective and constructivism. It signifies that teaching involves giving opportunities for learners to explore, to discover. Learners construct their own meaning, and learners generate insights and are enlightened. So, hello everyone, this is Jake Licanda, and for today's video, we've been telling about the constructivist approach. In constructivist approach, constructivist believes that knowledge cannot be passed on from one person to another. Constructivist believes that knowledge is constructed by the learner itself, and constructivists view learning as an active process that results from constructed meaning, self-constructed meaning rather, and a meaningful connection is established between prior knowledge and present learning activity. According to Audrey Gray, a constructivist classroom should be characterized by the following: the learners are actively involved, the environment is democratic, the activities are interactive and student-centered, the teacher facilitates a process of learning in which students are encouraged to be responsible and autonomous. Constructivism. Constructivism considered as social progress in which learners construct meaning through the interaction of prior knowledge and new learning events. Constructivism, coined by Jean Piaget, 1973, as the process of change or knowledge construction that occurs in one's thinking as learning occurs. Constructivist approach is anchored on the belief that every individual constructs and reconstructs meanings depending on past experiences. Constructivist teachers teach towards the big ideas or the framing of concepts of a subject, Schefter and Frostnut 1993. All subject disciplines have the basic concepts within which other concepts fit. So there are two views of constructivism, which is the individual constructivism and social constructivism, by which individual constructivism, so I guess galing siya kay Piaget's theory, and social constructivism ay kay Vygotsky's theory naman. So let's talk about what is individual constructivism. So individual constructivism, this is also called cognitive constructivism. So which is emphasized individual, internal and internal construction of knowledge, yun nga, which is largely based on Piaget's theory, while social constructivism, it is a knowledge exists in a social context and is initially shared with others instead of being represented by solely in the mind of an individual, and it is based on Vygotsky theory. Yun. Instructional characteristics. Teaching is not considered as merely transmitting knowledge and information, but rather providing students with relevant experiences from which they can construct their own meaning. The absorption or assimilation of knowledge is somewhat personal, and therefore number two learners can build up the same meaning out of one situation. Teacher facilitate learning by providing opportunities for assimilating dialogue so that meanings can evolve and can be constructed. Instructional materials include learning activities rather than fixed document. Characteristics of constructivism. According to Agen and Kauchak, there are four characteristics of constructivism. First, learners construct understanding. These see learners who interpret new information based on what they already know. Second, new learning depends on current understanding. Background information is very important. Third, learning is facilitated by social interaction, which is learning communities help learners take responsibility for their own learning. Teachers play as facilitator rather than an expert one. Fourth, Meaningful learning occurs within authentic learning task involves learning activity that involves constructing knowledge and understanding needed when applied in the real world. Constructivism, strength and weakness. In a situation where conformity is essential, divergent thinking and action may cause problem. Like for example, imagine the Fund Revenue Canada would have it every person decided to report their taxes in their own way, although there probably are some very constructive approaches used within the system we have. Now the strength is, the goal is to train learners to do a task the same way to enable consistency. So like for example, logging onto and off of a workplace computer is the same for all employee. It may be important to an exact routine to avoid problems. So there are five A's phases of learning in constructivist approach. So first we have the engage, second is explore, third is explain, fourth is elaborate, and the last one is to evaluate. So that's are the five A's phases of learning in constructivist approach. Engage, start the process. Explore, provide students with a common base of experience or identify and develop concepts, processes, and skills. Explain, opportunities to verbalize students' conceptual understanding or to demonstrate new skills and behavior. Or also provides an opportunities for teachers to introduce formal terms, definitions, and explanations for concept and etc. Elaborate, extends students' conceptual understanding and allows them to practice skills and behaviors. Evaluate, encourage learners and assess their understanding and abilities, and lets teachers evaluate students' understanding of key concept and skill development.